The Senate moved to accept the amendments placed on the oil and gas regulations bill and then repassed the bill on a 19-16 vote. This concludes weeks of debate over public health and safety concerns. Governor Jared Polis is expected to sign the bill into law. What do you see coming out of this, John?
I see a recall in Greeley, Colorado. You'll see that Rochelle Galindo, who has voted against her constituents on this, is going to wipe out a lot of economic development, particularly in Weld County. 90% of the oil in Colorado and gas comes from Weld County. It would be like the state representative who has Aspen and Vail voting against the skiing industry. People are upset. And unlike the gun confiscation bill or the sex ed bill, this is about jobs and food on the table. 181 will be the signature bill that comes out of the state legislature and what it could do for this economy. I know in the Boulder-Denver bubble, people don't seem to get how big oil and gas is and how devastating this bill would be. This bill is proof that the Boulder Mafia is running the state capitol. This is a pure Boulder bill.
Eric, Boulder Mafia in charge of the state?
I don't know about the mafia piece, but Boulder is certainly not without its influence in the state at this moment. I personally think the legislature had no choice here after the voters of Colorado so resoundingly expressed their support for the contents of Senate Bill 181 in the last election. What was the number?
10% victory.
Or you mean that it went down? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, this clearly goes against the voters' expressed wishes in Proposition 112. Obviously, representative democracy is representative democracy. We elected a governor who promotes this agenda and a legislature that is completely bought into this agenda. I'm more focused on the totality of the Democrats' agenda this year. Yes, the death penalty repeal is not going to be part of it, but this is anything but a shy or timid legislature. This is a legislature that looks to me like they're convinced this is a blue state in perpetuity, that they can beat down recalls, that they can hold their majority, that Governor Polis is safe as long as he wants to be governor. And by God, they're going whole hog on the agenda, and this is one piece of it.
Ed, you have been in the belly of the beast. Where do you see this going now?
I see that this is just beginning at this point. I mean, first of all, once Governor Polis signs this into law, and we don't know yet whether he's going to do a public signing or a private signing like he did with the National Popular Vote bill, there's going to be about a year worth of rulemaking to take the principles in this bill and put them into effect while we have a backlog of 6,500 applications for drilling permits across the state that the newly remade Colorado Oil and Gas Conservation Commission is going to have to consider under new rules while local governments are looking at their new powers with it. So we've got a lot of uncertainty there to start. John mentioned the Rochelle Galindo recall, but let's not forget there are 4 ballot initiatives that could go onto the ballot in November because they have Tabor impacts that are looking to essentially pull this rule out. The petition process started before this was even signed into law, and replace the Colorado the COGCC with a more industry-friendly body as well. So voters will literally have the chance to weigh in on what they think of this. And I think only then are we going to find out, is this the way the state wanted to go? I maintain a lot of the 2018 election was more of a I hate Trump result, and people going district by district saying, I prefer the ideas of this state house candidate to the ideas of this state house candidate. And I don't know that voters knew that something like this was coming. I think around areas like Adams County, Broomfield County, where you're seeing more development of oil and gas wells, this may be welcomed, but that's a small sliver of the state in terms of the general area. I think, like I said, this is just the beginning. We're going to be debating this for a long time.
Natasha, are we being set up for a very ugly November?
Yes, we are. And I'm going to echo that this is going to continue on for a very long time. What's interesting is oil and gas is not an immature industry. It is a very mature part of our economy. What has changed, what has created, and perfect storm is, of course, an overused phrase, but this perfect storm of an increase in applications for permits and just activity around this industry, combined with this massive influx of people that we've had into this state, has created interesting conversations. Some of those have been a little bit more in depth already in communities that were highly impacted, Broomfield, Weld County. But yes, now the entire state is going to be having those conversations. I don't see it ending in November, though. I think it's going to continue for much longer.